Hey everyone, so today I want to talk to you about how we've achieved over 56% conversion on our sales demos. Now we're involved in a number of different businesses from SaaS, so software as a service, right through to digital and innovation. The important thing is today I'm going to talk about a sales process that we've deployed over the past few months for one of our software businesses. Obviously the viewers today are going to have different business types, but I'm hoping that you'll get some information around how to build a correct sales process, how to track that sales process and how to deliver it correctly and really optimize it as well. So I'm going to start with how we actually create our sales funnels. So one of the main steps is effectively the stage where you would start from acquiring that initial lead. So in our circumstance, it would be someone filling out a form on the website, right through to how they become a paying customer of ours. Now, in our particular circumstance, we defined it under 4 to 5 clear positions, and then what we would do is move them through those positions in a really strategic way. So our first part for our software was to book a demo. The reason we went for a book a demo process rather than what might be a self-service, so literally sign up and give us a try, is because we have a complex product. So because we have a complex product, we need to force them through a 15 or 30 minute demo so they can fully comprehend the nature of the tool, whether there's a mutual fit, so whether there's a fit for ourselves as them as a customer, but also whether there's a fit for our tool within their organization and how it currently works within their company and their teams of people. So I'll start with that part before I move on to the next stage. So what we did is we created a book a demo process only, but more important to that, we created a level of urgency. So our product has been evolving over the past 18 months. So what we did is we launched it as a beta invite only. And what we did, the reason we did that was for a number of reasons. One, it has some acceptance with the customers, so the tool will evolve, it will change, so they embrace that. But also you get emotional buy-in from those customers as well. So people are really on board to your tool, knowing that it's growing, knowing that it's an early stage startup. That's the first one and a really important one. But second to that is that we were able to put some urgency and some exclusivity around our product. So by launching it in that way, we did dismiss certain people that weren't a good fit before providing that demo, but it gave that sense of urgency. It allowed us to actually put what we would refer to as a quota of active paying customers per week. So again, explaining that further, our book a demo process would work in sales cycles. So on a per week basis, we have a capacity in terms of how many people we can book. And so we would look to meet that quota and only allow a certain finite number of people to actually onboard as customers over that sales cycle. So that's the first part, book a demo. Someone would fill out a form. They would then go through, once that form is filled out, to our appointment setter. And what our appointment setter would be doing would be filling up 2 of our sales team's calendars at 30-minute slots over 8 or 9 hours per day. And again, what happens is you're really refining that process. So your sales demo person, so your sales executive, will not be involved in the actual early stage booking. So we have someone who's dedicated to that. So that's the second stage, someone actually setting those appointments. The third stage then is actually our sales team performing those demos. So as I said before, their stage at which they start to initiate is logging onto their calendar, seeing a scheduled number of demos that are actually in their calendar and performing those 16 to 20 demos per day. So prorated out, that's 100 demos per week per sales rep. Within those demos, here's the really important parts that we did. We gave them a process again. So not just a sales process for demoing the tool, which I'm not going to go into the detail of that because it's not too relevant for yourselves. But we gave them process around that, so a loose but refined script as to the key questions they need to ask and demonstration on the tool. More importantly, we delivered within that script the sense of urgency that's required. So typically, we have that sales cycle that I was talking about earlier, and that sales cycle meant that for the customers who actually demoed then and there was a finite period by which they could actually access our beta tool and therefore become an active customer of our beta tool. That's a really important part, and whilst it sounds quite vague and perhaps not too relevant, it's one of the key things that I'd attribute to our successes in terms of getting a solid number of paying customers that know they get special offers or special deals within that particular sales cycle. It then allows them to make the decision fast, have a real legitimate reason to make that decision fast, or to circulate it with urgency within their team to the decision makers to make that decision fast as well. All of that was done via a screen shared tool within our calendar booking, but again, I won't delve into that detail because it's not too relevant. The next part then was, after the demo was complete, we would have a small mini sales process around that. So we would use tools such as replyup.com, which is an email sequencing tool. So after that demo is complete, we would then use the team's Gmail to assign an email sequence. And what that's doing is it's sending an initial email, personalised, that's qualifying the call, the demo that just happened. And then it would be sending some sequential email follow-ups in line with when that deadline was for that particular sales cycle, i.e. for that particular prospect that was demoed, to achieve those special prices or that special offer or whatever that incentive is. So the two key parts there is to get that incentive in place, but more importantly, get your offer that supports the incentive and that sales cycle with that particular deadline. That was then the third part. And then the final part was obviously having active paying customers. So based on that email sequence being triggered to that prospect, we then received a percentage conversion against those demos. And in this circumstance, when we refined each of those processes and those steps onto the next and onto the next and onto the next, our best performing weeks actually exceeded slightly 56% in terms of conversions from those per sales rep, circa 100 calendar bookings, right through to the 56% conversion. So I'm hoping that gives you guys a bit of an understanding as to identifying your sales funnel, creating definitive stages of your sales funnel, and creating a really definitive process around each of those stages. Your goal from Book a Demo isn't all in one to get you right through to a paying customer. It's to take them onto the next stage and take them onto the next stage and take them onto the next stage. And the really important thing also is that you won't necessarily want one single person to be transitioning them from the Book a Demo right through to the active paying customer. You want to use each of these sales funnel stages as an opportunity to build a mini process around each, and therefore potentially a small dedicated team around each of these transitional stages. One last point that I think is really important also, when you launch something new, so when you launch something like a new sales process, try not to get too bogged down in deploying a big strategy. So by that I mean a strategy which may mean appointing a complete email automation solution or a marketing automation solution. I'm a really big fan of starting something, accelerating it really fast, perhaps doing it slightly messy, but to prove a point, to prove that it has value doing it that way. And then when you have proof of concept, you've got emotional buy-in from your customers, but also importantly from your team members. And then when you have that success, you can then potentially deploy that marketing automation complete suite or whatever tool or technology that you need to handle all of those stages and all of those email automation sequences and everything else. I hope that covers everything. Again, we're looking to launch these videos hopefully every 2 to 3 times per week. If you'd like to keep up to date with them, please do subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.